Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Country Bumpkin Creates. My name is Lucy. You can find me on Ravelry as Country Bumps or Instagram as country_bumps. Thank you to any returning viewers. It's nice to see you back. Welcome to any new viewers and also welcome to some new subscribers. I had a few over the last few days. No, I didn't. I had them over the last few weeks, not few days. I lied. It's been a little, I think it's been about a month since I recorded last. What's been going on? Well, I was going to record a couple of weeks ago, but our internet was just pants and it would have taken me like a week to upload instead of the day and a half it takes me now. Oh, sorry, didn't switch my phone off. Right, sorry about that. Yes, so, but our internet was pants, and then last week, oh, I should tell, it's Friday the 20th of July today. Last week we went to St Ives for a few days. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that. We took our vintage caravan away and had 4 nights in St Ives, which was glorious. The weather was amazing. A little too hot, if I'm honest. I'm a bit of a big bird and I don't do well in the heat. When we go on holiday, like foreign climes, I spend all of my time next to the pool under an umbrella because I just, plus although I'm dark haired, I used to be dark haired, I am quite fair skinned, so if I sit out in the sun for any length of time I just frazzle, so I don't bother. And then so we went to St Ives from Monday to Friday. I got back into the house at 12:30 on the Friday, showered, repacked my bag, sorted out my knitting, and then Nigel dropped me to Sophie's. Hi Soph. And we did a little road trip and to our friend Sarah. Hi Sarah. And also Imogen was there already. Hi Imogen. She lives just outside, Sarah lives just outside Bath and was currently putting us up for the weekend so we could go to visit Yarningham because we've never done Yarningham before, and it was a really nice show. It was last weekend, so the 14th and 15th of July, and it was in the Ofcom Centre, I think that's how you pronounce it, in Birmingham, just on the very sort of bottom of Birmingham. And it was a really lovely yarn show and we had lots of fun. Bought a few bits. Should I do that now or later? I might do that now actually. Yeah, so this looks a fairly large tote, but not everything in here did I buy at the show. I bought some of it I bought previously. So if I show, I had this yarn already, so excuse the rummaging. I had these 2 skeins of Nora George yarn in the Highlands colourway, which she did for EYF this year. So you can see it's coming out, it's a bit darker in real life. So I had 2 skeins, so I wanted to make a stripy jumper out of them. So took these to see what I could find at the show, and what I did find at the show was these 2. So I think they look pretty fab together. It's like a dark plum, this colour. It's got grass on it, I don't know what it's got. And these are from the Knitting Swede, and this is 100% superwash BFL, and it's in the Byzantium colourway. So I've got those 2 to go with those. So that was pretty perfect. And then I also had another 2 skeins of the same colourway from Nora George. Again, to make, I think I might make the confetti jumper by Vera Valimaki out of these two. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of different colour speckles in this. This is the spring colourway. You can see there's some nice speckles there, and then there's also green and red, so it's really difficult to pick. So I thought I'll go for a grey, and then so I got this grey. Let's hold them all up together. Again, the lighting's not brilliant, but you get the gist. And this is Sock Share by Coop Knits, and it's the Melanite. If it'll focus. No, it's not going to focus. Oh, that's better. Melanite, which is colour number 121. So luckily the stall I got these off, which I can't remember unfortunately, they had 4, because these only come in 50-gram skeins. You get 212 meters per 50 grams. So that's why I got 4, because excuse me, itchy eyeball. Because I am a big girl, I get 4 skeins of, I need 3 to 4 skeins per jumper. So that was what I got to go with those. And then my objective was tonals, no speckled yarn, especially not mint speckle or pink speckle, because I have lots of that. So what did I come home with? Lots of speckled yarn. I didn't really get any mint speckled, but right. And I did get, I wanted some DK as well, so I did get, I think I got 1 skein of DK. There wasn't a huge amount of DK there, to be honest. So the lovely Dusty Dimples was there. So, and I've been, as I said on my last podcast, I've been bagging up and sorting out all of my yarn and putting it in bags, because I'm worried that moths are going to eat it. And I've got quite a lot of blue, but I needed something that would go with that blue. So I thought this is beautiful with the, like, these blue speckles and a little touch of pink and yellow. Look at that there, that speckle's pretty gorgeous. And then there's like some like darker blue bits, and this is the Coruscate colourway. I think that's what it says. Coruscate. Can't work out whether it's C-O-N-I or C-O-U. C-O-R-U. I don't know. It'll make sense to somebody. And this was on her sock base, 75-25. Sock base, 425 meters per 100 grams. And then this is a DK skein, which I thought would make a beautiful hat. See, beautiful. I could just wear it like that. Just put it on a headband and wear it like that. And it's called A Glade Somewhere. This is again Dusty Dimples, sorry. A Glade Somewhere. And it's 75-25 on DK, 225 meters per 100 grams. So look out for that in the future as a hat. This from the lovely Jo Knit Sew. I got the Lord Brock Turok, and if you remember earlier in the year, I made the Olive and Jack hat out of exactly the same colourway from Jo Knit Sew, but in the DK. So I picked up a skein of it in the sock, in her sock base, which is superwash merino nylon sock, 425. It's a 75-25, 425 meters per 100 grams. But but look at all the speckles in it. I absolutely adore this colourway. Not because it's Outlander, but that's just an added bonus. But I just love the speckles of it. Look at that bit there. Love a sexy speckle. And it was lovely to catch up with Jo again. She was I did a secret swap thing on Facebook last year, and all these Harry Potter Funkos up here are Jo's fault, because she bought me the Dobby, and then I couldn't just have Dobby on his own, so I've got a fair collection going on. Well, I might have lied about them. It's more turquoise. It's more turquoise on this one than mint. And this is the lovely Beehive Yarns in her Atomic Flamingo colourway on her Audrey base, which is 75/25, again 425 metres. But it's lovely. It's like it's coming out quite light on there, but it's like a dark, deep turquoise with these beautiful pink speckles. And a few sort of like dark red speckles on it. And this is Sophie's fault, because Sophie was like, oh, really love that, really love that. Oh, there's a bit of black there as well. And Soph bought it, and then on our second sweep around I was like, right, I need some of that in my life, because the more I looked at the one that Sophie bought, the more I liked it. So I shall probably make socks out of that at some point. And then lastly, I got these from the lovely Kelly at Lay Family Yarn. It was Kelly's first show, and her stand was just beautiful, full of like pastel-y, just beautiful skeins of yarn. Hope you're doing your ironing, Kelly. I know what you're wearing. Sorry, private joke there, sorry. So this is one of her socks sets. I'm saying that when you've had a few. And it's her 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon high twist. So you get 100 grams of that, and then a little 20 gram mini. And this again is coming out a bit lighter, but it's like a lovely honey darkish yellow with like chocolate and orange speckles on it, and then like a chocolatey, like a milk chocolate mini for heels, toes and cuffs. So I think that would make a nice patterned sock, like a lovely cabled sock or something, because I don't think you would lose too much of the cable with because it's not massively highly speckled. But please do check out Kelly's shop, because she does do some beautiful, beautiful yarns. So that was all I bought. Oh, hang on. I did buy some buttons. If my sister Sarah's watching, shut your eyes now, because it's going to be part of your Christmas present. They had, again, sorry for the rustling, I can't remember what they were called. Oh, the Textile Garden. I'm sure that's what they were called, yeah. Textile Garden. And they had these beautiful buttons. So I picked up some of these, and I'm going to put them together. I'm going to sew them here, and then put a brooch back on the back, and give them as Christmas gifts. They're lovely. Like this one's like a real tortoiseshell on the back. So this is like a bronzy colour, and my sister's like ginger hair, so I got that one for her. And then all of these will have the other three. I got like a dark bluey, purpley background, so I picked up the same front button in purple. That's more like a dark blue rather than it looks like it's purple on the screen, but it's not. It's like a dark blue navy, and then turquoise So they will be nice individual Christmas gifts, because I have lovely friends and family who do appreciate a good gift. And also I got this skein of Dusty Dimples from I didn't get this at the show, the Tits Out Collective. I'm sure you've all heard about the Tits Out Collective that Countess Ablaze did. So I got it on her DK base, because again that will become a hat of some sorts. I don't know what yet. I'm hoping that as autumn is approaching and winter, yes, come on winter and autumn. Actually autumn, I prefer autumn to winter. So I'm hoping as the autumn is approaching that people will start bringing out hat patterns. Please, please people. So that was my haul from Yarningham, and it was, as I said, beautiful show. The setting, the house that it was in, it's Cadbury, was he called John? Or maybe lying. John Cadbury's old house. It's now used as an NHS centre. I don't know what they do there. And it was in beautiful grounds. It was like in its own little like park with beautiful trees and stuff outside. And they had a marquee outside that had tables and chairs in it that you could go and sit. And they were selling the most amazing cake out there. And so we sat out there for quite a while, actually, just sort of chatting and nattering. After we'd done our first sort of round of the show. So we had our lunch, sat there knitting a bit. Then went back in and picked up a few more bits that we'd seen as we were walking around. And then went back and sat out on the grass knitting. Can't get better than that really. But yeah, it was lovely, and I think we'll probably go again next year. They had some lovely dyers there, but sadly you can't buy from everyone. No. Although we'd like to. So that's it really. That's been my... Other than that, it's just been normal day-to-day working, visiting Dad. Something else has happened. Oh, Holly was down with Miss Banana, so spent quite a bit of time with them. They were down for 2 weeks. Just over 2 weeks, so lots of family time, which was nice. But anyway, let's get on with what we're here for, which is knitting. Are we not? I don't normally show... I've gone off the showing of the stash enhancement now, because it just... It's not fair on people who haven't got the budget that I've got. I'm lucky that I've got a fairly healthy budget to be able to buy yarn, but I did buy another skein of yarn. I lied. On the side, because Sarah lives near Bath, Sarah who we stayed with, and her lovely husband Byron, who made the most delicious meal for us on Saturday evening. She lives just outside Bath, so on the Sunday we went into Bath because a yarn story was open, and I've never been to yarn story. And one of our plans for next year, hopefully fingers crossed, is that we're going to do, the four of us are going to do a trip to EYF, the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So we thought it'd be nice to have like a little uniform. So we are going to knit we all want to make one anyway, so we're going to knit the Exploration Station. So while we were in by Stephen West, if you're unsure what that is, I can get you the pattern. It's the one he's got on the, so it's this one, the one he's got on the front cover of his shawls book. Let's get a better picture. I'm sure there's one in here somewhere. There we go. So it's this shawl with like these short sweeping crescents, and then a lacy border bit at the bottom. There's a bit of brioche in there and a bit of like meshy bit, I think. I can't work out what it is. I haven't read the pattern. So we're all going to make one of those as like our Edinburgh uniform. So while we were in Yarn Story, they stock hedgehog fibres, and they didn't have any of my favourite colourway, which is teacup, because you can't get that for love nor money. So I picked up this skein. This is Film Noir, because, and also I knew I had yarn in my stash that I could mix with this, because it's pinks and blacks and reds. So when I got home on Sunday evening, I did a bit of stash diving. So I'm going to pair it or mix it with this one, which is from a homespun house. It was our Harry Potter yarn club from May of this year, the High Inquisitor. So we've got those two, and then No Stephen West shawl is a true Stephen West shawl without a bit of neon in it. So I have this, wowzers, neon pink. It's blowing out on the camera because it is whoa. And this is from Great British Yarns, who I don't even know if they're still going actually, and it is their Blueface Leicester superwash sock, 385 meters, doesn't have a colourway. I think I got this in a swap from somebody. So, and then I wanted like a dark to differentiate between all of these colours in the crescents. So I had this skein of Kettle yarns in the Bayal base, Bayal, which is Yak Down Silk and Superwash Merino. Doesn't say what quantity of each is in there. But it's 366 meters, and it's in the black quartz colourway, and it is like soft as a baby's bum. Yeah, Yak Down Silk and Superwash Merino. So those four together will become my, what's it called? Exploration station. Brain fart there. So, but I'm not starting that because I know it will take me a while, so I'm not going to start that until Stash Dash is finished, because it's all about those imaginary internet points. So that really was all I bought, I promise. So now let's get on to the exciting finished objects. So the first one that I am wearing is the Riley tee, which was in the latest edition of Pom Pom Quarterly in the summer 2018 one. And let's get a better picture of it. I'm just going to cover that bit up because it's got pattern on it. So this is what it looks like on the nice skinny model. So yeah, Pom Pom Quarterly, Summer Stripes issue, which was issue number 25. So if I scoot back a bit, now I'm going to stand up, so you can see it's got a really interesting construction. So you start by knitting this band here from, it's backwards on the screen so I can't see where I'm pointing. So it goes from like here to here, and then you start on the back actually, so you knit up the back. Oh, some dodgy stitching going on there. What's going on there? Oh, it doesn't matter. And then you do the same on the front, so obviously split for the shoulders and things like that. Then you pick up all the way around, so you join in the back and the front all the way, so you go up and around, like back and forth. And then you're supposed to seam it, but what I did was I took the number of stitches it tells you to cast off, and I put them onto separate needles. So I just knitted the amount of stitches and then you work on this like sleeve cap bit. I'll sit down now, it's easier to talk. So then you work on this sleeve cap bit, but you're also supposed to be casting off so many stitches at the beginning of each row, and beginning of each row, because you're going back and then forth, back and forth. So I also just knit those onto the other 2 needles that I had up the side. So I had 3 needles going on, so it was a bit like you had to concentrate on this bit. And then I just did a 3 needle bind off all the way up, because I ain't seaming. I don't like seaming. The only bit I'm a bit about is this bit here. It sort of goes, it's making these stripes go up, because you have to join the yarn here to keep going with these sections, this shoulder bit, and then you pick up and knit in a smaller needle size. So I think probably what I should have done is just kept with the needle size that I had, the original needle size that I had, because it's, I think using the smaller needle, excuse me, it's tightened a bit and it's gone up. It's made that pointy bit go up, but who cares? It's fine. And I knit this out of Drops Cotton Merino, which was 50% cotton, 50% merino, and it's like a lavender and a grey. I can't remember what colour numbers were. Are they on last time's show notes? Possibly not. No, because I don't think I'd even started this on the last podcast, or possibly I'd only done that sort of, sorry, flashing my bra there, that first section, or started that first section. I was monogamous with this, which is really unlike me, but I think it's because of the construction and the way, and it's DK, so it knit up pretty quick. And actually it's a warm day and I'm not hugely warm in it. One of those, you know, those like bobbly things that you get on some grass plants. A cat came in the other day, absolutely covered in them. I just found one stuck to my boob. It's nice. So, and it's not majorly warm. I don't feel hugely warm in it at the moment. So that was the first finished object. Oh no! Oh God, my jumper's stuck on the. I've got my ball winder there, and it was stuck around the loopy bit of my ball winder. So it's second finished object. 2 garments. I finished 2 garments. Is my Sides and Stripes sweater. Oh. I can't really get that. So this is my Side and Stripes sweater. This is by Vera Valimaki. What I'll do is I'm going to pause, change the top, because ain't nobody want to see what's underneath here, and then I'll be back. And we're back. So this is the Sides and Stripes sweater by Vera Valimaki. So it's called the Sides and Stripes because you've got this panel of reverse stockinette underneath both arms. So that's the sides and obviously the stripes. Gratuitous boob shot of the stripes. You're supposed to go down a needle size on the cuffs, but I don't know. I didn't, and I don't know whether I should have. No. But I really like it. So it's got short row shaping at the back, so the back is slightly higher than the front. So the colourways, I knit this out of, this is all stranded dye wax. This colour is not coming out brilliantly. If I go like that, you can see it better. So this is the Shiner colourway, and then the stripe is her Metalsome colourway. Yeah, that's better. So, but I really like this. And again, it kept your interest because it wasn't just endless amounts of stockinette. You were striping, plus you had these stitches that you had to purl as you were going around, so it wasn't all endless amounts of stockinette. I've got a thing on the floor, a floor protector thing. So yeah, it wasn't a raglan construction. It was, I don't know, like a yoke, I suppose, a yoke construction. So every so many rounds you did like increases all the way around. So yeah, so there wasn't any sort of particular sort of arm and shoulder shaping. So it's a really nice relaxed fit. So I love it. I think it's going to be a very popular one that I shall be wearing in the winter. Right, I'm going to stop again now and take it off and put my t-shirt on because I am getting a bit warm. Okay, back again. That's better, I'm a bit cooler now. Put the t-shirt on. So I'm just consulting the show notes. Another one that I've started and finished since you last saw me was this hat, and this is the die pyramid hat, which again was from a Pom Pom quarterly. This was the winter 2017 edition, edition 23, and that's what it looks like in the book. So it's colour work, obviously, and the yarns I used were this grey, it's like a real dark grey, is again the Knitting Swede in the carbon colourway. This is Knitting DK, so this is the carbon colourway, and then this beautiful pink variegated is Stranded Dye Wax again in her Pinata colourway. And it was actually going to Sarah's on at the weekend that spurred me on to get this finished, because I had started the rib, but you'd have to do 4.5 inches of rib. 4.5 inches. You're on a giraffe. So it was like languishing a bit, but Sarah had started the colour work section on hers when we got there at the weekend, and she's done hers in like a, again, in like a brownie. She's done hers like a brown colour and then an orange, and it looks amazing. So here we go, village idiot time. I like one of Ken Dodd's Diddy Men though. So it's a bit tight, so you can see it's quite a tight fitting hat, and I'm not sure in the pattern it calls, but I suppose because it's got all this ribbing, I can, if I wanted it slouchier, then I could just pull the ribbon down and, oh, it's slouchy. But oh god, it's too hot to have a hat on. So in the book it says to make a pom-pom out of the leftovers of what you've got of this yarn. But it's so difficult to get, I've got a pom-pom maker, but it's so difficult to get a yarny pom-pom looking nice. Plus then you've got the thing of washing. So I think what I might look for is a grey faux fur one. And I think it needs a pretty epic large pom-pom. I've had a look in my pom-pom stash and I've only got white ones, and that wouldn't look right at all. So either like a really bright pink one, oh yeah, that might work, or a dark grey one if I can find it. Sorry, cogs are turning. Then did you hear the noise? So yeah, that's another FO that you haven't seen started or finished. Well, you've seen it finished, but you didn't see it started. Yeah. So other two finished objects are socks. So these are the Ottoline socks by Rachel Coopy of Coop Knits. And these were the first instalment of the Neons and Neutrals sock club. So you did this colour work and then went down, there's like a textured-y section there, did a bit more colour work and then stripy toe. I went up I normally do 72 stitches. I went up to 80 stitches and they still don't fit. I think it's the colour work that's tight. I can't get that bit over my foot. Once, if I could get that over my ankle, it would be fine, because the foot is really wide, so I'd get that on my feet, no problem. And I hoped blocking would help, but it didn't. So I'm not really, because I know that the foot would be too big. I mean, mine's too big for my sister. The leg would probably work. So it's like, what do I do? Do I pick up the stitches here, unravel this colour work, go up a needle size, do the same stitch count but go up a needle size, and sort of re-knit upwards, if you get my drift. So reverse engineer the pattern. Obviously I'll just start go down the chart instead of going up the chart. So I was a bit gutted when I finished them and I couldn't get my bloody foot in them. Or do I cut my losses, pick up there, unravel all the foot and go down, do some decreases here before, or just on the, I still think the leg might be a bit too big for her even. So I think I might do the first plan, but they're in timeout a bit at the moment, which is really annoying. I was so excited about getting them finished as well. And then I went to put them on and it was like, nope. Your fat trotters ain't going in there. The other pair of socks I finished were the 2-colour socks by Joji Locatelli. And these are from my sister. So these were a 60 stitch count. This is Damson from Eden Cottage Yarns. Is that what they're called? Eden Cottage? Yeah, Eden Cottage, and that's a BFL base. And then this lilac-y colour is a sock yarn from Devon Sun Yarns. So you start, so I've done them fraternal. So you can see so you start with the stripe. Probably easier to see on this. Start with the stripe, and then you've got this lace section. You're supposed to do 3 repeats of that, but I only did 2. Heel flap and gusset, and then there's like a textured section here, and then that textured section does carry on for a bit of the foot, and in the other colour you'll probably see it better on this one. So you can see the textured section continues there, and then you do your toe. So that's another pair for her box of socks. I'm a bit behind. I think I've only got 4 pairs for her at the moment, but I'm cracking on with others. So while we're on the subject of socks, so that's all my finished objects. So that's not bad. That's 2 garments, 2 pairs of socks, and a hat. So I don't think I've done too badly for 4 weeks. So while we're on the subject of socks, we'll move on to whips. So sock whips first of all. This is my handbag sock, so just keep it in my handbag so for when I am out and about. So this yarn is from Hand Dyed by Kate, and it's called Make Your Own Music, and I got it on a D-Stash on Facebook, D-Stash group. So it's just a stripy sock. I did try back here somewhere a German short row heel, but I don't know what I did wrong, and it had big holes down each side. I think when I was doing the double stitch, I'd somehow done a yarn over when I was going to go back that way or something, and it just ended up like really holy on each side. So when we were at Yarningham last weekend, sat knitting, I just ripped it back, and I'll just do a tube, and then I'll do an afterthought heel afterwards. So these I did do a fair bit while we were at Yarningham, but mainly these are knit when I go and visit Dad on a Thursday and a Sunday. So, and that's what the ball looks like. So they'll be done when they're done, those, because like I said, they are a handbag project. So next up we have These are from the Knitting Expat sock collection. I've literally only printed the patterns page because I didn't need all the rest of it. And these are the vagary socks, so I don't know if you can see, they have got a slight texture to them, like a knit and purl texture. I'm not going to give the secret sauce away, obviously. And this yarn, you can see these lovely speckles, is a Rosie's Moments yarn. So there's her tag, and she's got an Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/Rosie's Moments, and it's a what's the Game of Thrones inspired colourway. It's called Winter is Coming, Jon Snow, and this is in her 80/20 base, 425 meters. So, and again, these are going to be for Sarah, so they're a 60 stitch count sock. But Imogen, who I went away with at the weekend, always does a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I've had the pattern in my library. Soph gifted it to me ages and ages ago, and I've never done it. So, but while we were there, Imogen was putting a heel in, so I sort of had a look at how she was doing the double stitch, or what, I can't remember what they call it but in effect it's a double stitch. So I'm going to give the Fish Lips Kiss heel a try. I think I'm going to do one more. It's a 12 row repeat. I've done 4, and I don't know how long that leg is. It doesn't look very long, seeing as I'm not doing a heel flap and gusset. If you haven't got one of these sock rulers, I got mine from Rosie's Moments, but they are available from others, but they're brilliant. So the leg at the moment is only 5 inches, so I may do another repeat, so do 5 repeats, pattern repeats on the leg before I put in the, because if I do a heel flap and gusset, obviously it'll make the leg a little bit longer, but with the Fish Lips Kiss, I don't know how deep that heel will give me on the leg, so the length it will give me on the leg. So I'll do one more repeat, and then I'm going to try the Fish Lips Kiss heel in that, I think. But I'm enjoying them. They're, after I finish the dye pyramid hat, they've been my sort of work knitting, because they're easy to pick up and put down. I have one other pair of socks on the needles, and this is a cabled sock. This is the second pattern from the, I'm just going to flash this quickly. When you have 6 different cables, I highlighted the chart, and then in the key I highlighted which cable went with which colour, because I was getting a bit confused. So these are the Maya socks, M-I-A-H. Sorry, I printed it in black and white because I didn't have any ink in my printer, so I did them in the office, and they've only got a black printer over there, laser printer. So this is the first sock. So the first sock, you do the cable down the leg and foot, and then stripe the bottom of the foot and the toe. And on the other one, you start with the stripes and then do the cable the rest of the way. So I don't know, well, you can see the cable. I'm not all the way through the chart yet. I've got about another quarter of the chart to do, which I think is going to be similar to these little cables here. So, but what I like is how the cable is coming down through the ribbing as well. It's really clever. So this colourway, it's like it's like a greeny, sagey green, grey, that's the word I was looking for. So, like I say, it's the neon and neutrals colourway, so you always get one neon. So this is a 5-month club that she's done, started in May. So you always get one. She's brought out 5 neons, so you always get one of the neons, So this neon is Argon, I think. Oh no, Krypton, of course. So that's Krypton, and this is her Lolite, Lolite, Lolite colourway. So I think they're going to look pretty smart. And because there's no... So I've done 72 stitch because cables stretch quite well. So you can see there's quite a lot of give in a cable. So these will fit. All the Neons and Neutrals Club will be for me. I love my sister, but not that much. There's probably going to be there's a lot of the neon left. There was a lot of the neon left from the Ottoline socks. So I can always use them as contrast in some of the socks for her. So that's all the socks I've got on the go at the moment. I have the others of the 2 different Knitting Expat clubs that I'm behind on. Excuse me. So I've got those lined up, and I've also got the 3rd instalment of the Neon and Neutrals, and there'll be another one at the beginning of August and another one at the beginning of September. So there's quite a lot of socks in my future, but I've been off socks for a little while, but now I'm getting back into them again. It's all about the garments, which is weird for me. I was all about socks last year. Couldn't knit enough last year, and then this year it's like meh, meh. Okay, so next up I've got a shawl on the needles here, and this is the Goldfish Memory. If you watch Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls, you'll see that they've both knit one of these so far, and I was like, oh, I really like that. It's a 3-colour shawl. I haven't introduced the 3rd colour yet, but it's all done in different sections. So this section, this first section, was like a little slip stitch garter section, and then you just did some garter rows, and then this is the 3rd section that I've just finished, which again is a slip stitch detail but larger. You do these slip stitches over 4 rows, so that's why they're bigger. So it's a wrap. It's not a shawl. It's more of a wrap, because what you're doing is done on the bias. So on one side you're increasing, and on the other side you're decreasing. So you can see it's starting to get that shape. You can't see it very well at the moment because it's... So you stay with the same stitch count all the time, so it's not going to grow widthways. If I hold it like that, so that's as wide as it will go, but it's long, really long. This is, like I said, the Goldfish Memory by Casa Pinker, and again I'm sorry, I printed it in black and white because it's all the way along. There's the different sections that will all have what do I do on my phone? I wonder if I'll put it up on my phone. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. So memory begins with an M, not a... So that's what it will look like when it's done. I'm trying to get a picture up. Oh, there you go. So you can see it's quite a long... the finished size will be 75 inches in length by 17 inches wide. So it's going to be a long one. It's going to be like a blanket, I think, on me then. So I like I say, I've done those 3 sections. I'm going into the 4th section now, so I'll be starting the 3rd colour. So the colours I am using are the purple, dark purple is an Easy Knits, So easyknits.co.uk in his Deeply Wicked base, which is 100% superwash merino in the Midnight colourway. Then the second colourway is Nora George Yarns on our MCN base, which is lush, and it's the Tulip colourway. And then the third colour will be a light purple. There's no colourway name on this one. So that's the third colour, and that's a Bellica Yarns. And it's a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. So those will be the three colours eventually. So, and like I say, in the next section I now start with the, I just keep them all in these IKEA, really strong, the IKEA sandwich bags, Ziploc bags. So yeah, that's, and I started it a couple of weeks ago, and I did that, the first little section there, and I was a bit like, meh, don't know, not sure. So I let it ponder, and I was like, shall I frog it? Shall I do something else with it? I'd already used that yarn, started using it for the Suburban Wrap by Joji Locatelli, and I didn't really, that pattern just didn't gel with me whatsoever. So I frogged that, and then I was like, right, what other three colour shawl can I do? So I saw that on the Knit, like I say, the Knit Girls podcast, and I was like, yeah, that'll do. So I'm glad I stuck with it, because I'm really enjoying it now, and I've powered through like the second and third sections. I did all of that yesterday, so I'm glad I stuck with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next bit is. Okay, so now we move on to garments, and the flipping Tegna. So this is the Tegna by Caitlin Hunter. I think that's how you pronounce it, Tegna. And this is how far I've got. So I finally got all the lace done. This is the second cast on that I've done. So this is the lace part at the bottom. So it's bottom up. You start with this. It is beautiful lace. But the first one I did was a flipping Mobius. And it's one of those things that you can't really tell till you're I was about 14 rows in. Bearing in mind, I cast on 420 stitches. So you can imagine how many stitches that was that I had to frog and start again. So I did lose the will to live a bit with it. But I'm glad I persevered. And I took this, when we went to St. Ives, I took this for sort of evening knitting and like chill out knitting while we were in the caravan. And it literally took me, I didn't work on it the first day we were there, but this section, I was about here when we went, and the rest of that took me the 4 days we were there. I know I wasn't knitting on it all day every day, but I thought it would go quicker than it did. So I'm doing this as a fade, so you can see I've just started to fade in my second colour. So this yarn is Mr. B's yarn, and that's all I had left of the first colour, first full skein. So this lace really ate the yarn. So, and like you can see, I started fading in around here. So I didn't have a lot of the body done before I had to start fading in the second colour. So this is Mr. B's yarn. That first colour is Kingdom. So it's Mr. B, and he is Bird Street UK on Etsy, and Bird Street UK and Mr. B, Mr. MISTERBS_yarn on Instagram, and he's coming out with some cracking colourways. It's like every day it's like, oh my god, I need that, oh my god, I need that. But I've been good so far and I've resisted. So this is the second colour that I'm fading in, and this is Isambard. You see a theme here, can't you? I did show this yarn on my last podcast. And then the third colour in the fade will be Brunel. So they are obviously Isambard Kingdom Brunel inspired. So that'll be the third colour. So we'll be going up the body. So I have put this on hold for a second because I don't, Stash Dash finishes on the 25th of August, so I've got a month just over. Stash Dash, if you're not aware, is a imaginary challenge. Well, it's not an imaginary challenge, but it's for imaginary points, prizes, you know. It's just a challenge to yourself to see how much of your stash or how many whips you can get finished. So it started on around the 25th of May. I think I've got it in my back of my notebook. Yeah, 25th of May to the 27th of August it goes on. So with all my FOs at the moment, so this is all my FOs from the 25th of March. So you work out how many meters each one was, and then you do a grand total. So I'm up to 6,178 meters so far. Last year I did it, it's run by Laura, and Leslie doesn't really get involved with it that much. Leslie and Laura of the Knit Girls podcast. Yeah, so it's just a challenge to yourself, really, to either A, knit as much as you can from your stash, or B, finish up whips. And other than the Riley T and the Die Pyramid, I think they all, the ones before that were all whips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So all of the 7, so 7 out of the 9 that I've finished so far were whips. So it's not, I haven't done too bad. It's quite satisfying. So yeah, like I say, I'm up to 6,178 meters. So I had to get a new planner. My planner goes from July to July, obviously, or end of June. So this year I uploaded my own photograph. Oh, bum. Battery's getting low, sorry. So this is my front cover, and that was my back cover. And then I think I showed this before, so I list everything that I worked on a specific day. Okay, so I've really got, my battery's running low. I didn't realise it was that low. So the other whip that I've sort of brought out of retirement, really, is my Kayleigh Sweater. I don't know if you can remember this, like, massive balls of yarn. So this is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend from Stylecraft. It's Aran with wool. And they come in these massive 400-gram balls. This is the Kayleigh Sweater, which again was a pom-pom, and I really got disenamoured with it. Unenamoured? Unenamoured, that's better English. So it's like quite a lovely sweater with pockets that need to be sewn, and then you've got got these garter stripes, and then there's a few on the back, in the middle of the back. So it literally only needs sleeves, and in the pattern calls for sleeves to be knit flat and then seamed, and it's like, nah, that ain't happening either. So I started knitting them in the round, but I was doing it magic loop, and I found, and also when I was doing this, sorry, I'm just going to get the bag, put it back in the bag. So it literally only needs sleeves and the pockets sewing, and it's done. Oh, and a neck, but that would take long. So as it's dash, and I thought, oh, there's quite a lot of meters there. So I'm going to get on with that, and get that finished as well, because it's been, I put it in timeout because I wasn't enjoying it, but I think it's because I was magic looping the sleeves, whereas I've bought some little 16-inch, no, they're not 16-inch, they're here actually, yeah, they are 16-inch, sorry, 16-inch fixed circulars from Higher. These are 3.5mm, and I bought 4.5mm as well, and I did the sleeves of my sides and stripes with these. Oh my god, it changed my life. It just, the sleeves just flew. So there was no sleeve island on those. It was like boom, one done, boom, second one done. I was going to do, I started magic looping, but actually I lied. I started with those Flexi Flip Crazy Trio needles, but they were leaving gaps where either side. So then I changed to magic loop, and I was like, nah. So then I ordered some of those, and they were perfecto. So I'm hoping that I'll have that done on the next podcast. So I'm hoping that the socks will be finished and the goldfish memory will be done by the next time our next podcast. I'm aiming for like once a month, because it just works better and it gives me more content for the podcast as well. So sewing, I haven't done any more sewing since my last podcast, but I have got a new pattern. So this is what it will look. I haven't got a picture of it, I don't think. It's called the Esme dress. I think it's called the Esme dress. By a company called Style Arc, ARC, who are Australian based. So I can only get this pattern as a PDF, and then I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get that whole thing of having to print each one out on A4, and then, so I'm just looking for the picture. So words, Lucy. So I was like, oh, I can't be doing with that. I'm not going to be going through, sorry, I'm being really rude and looking through my phone. But I thought I had a screenshot. Oh, there it is. So that's what the dress looks like. So it's like a two-tone tunic-y type thing. So I was doing a bit of investigating, and I found this company called Patternsy. They are based in the UK, and I would, EME dress, sorry, EME dress. So, and what you do is you upload the PDF to them. They put all the 75 million and 80 A4 pieces together, print it for you on a full scale, you know, like a normal printed pattern size comes on, and then post it to you. And it was like £7, something like that. I was like, I'll go for a bit of that. So they're called Patternsy. I'm not sure, they are, like I say, they are UK based. They do ship around the world, but obviously I don't know what it would cost to get. So I ordered some chambray from eBay. So I've got like this grey, like really light grey, and a red. So I'm going to do the grey on the top and the red on the bottom. So that's my next sewing plan. So I'm hoping, we've got Nigel's daughters coming down next Thursday, so they're coming to stay for a week. So, and I've got the week off, so I'm hoping that they'll be quite happy to have a couple of chill out days so I can get some sewing done while I'm off, which is pretty cool. So all in all, that's about it really. So again, I'm going to sign off now before my battery dies. Thank you very much for sticking with me. It was a bit disjointed with all the costume changes and stuff. And I'm a bit more self-conscious today because Nigel's out in the garden sorting his shed out, so I know he can hear what I'm saying, and he's in and out. I've just had him come in again, so it's been a bit more, not been so wild today because I'm not here on my own. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you like it. If you do like it, please give a thumbs up down there and subscribe to my channel if you don't already do. If it wasn't for you, that's absolutely fine. There are thousands of other podcasts out there, so that's not a problem. Thank you for watching what you did watch. If you're still here, you might have gone by now. I don't know. Until then, happy crafting, happy knitting, happy crochet, happy sewing. Just happy, generally happy. Okay, be good. Bye.